Hey, y'all. This is a subject that I was hoping I was never going to have to talk about, but due to some recent events that I personally witnessed, I figure we need to have a conversation to keep everybody safe and everybody out of jail. And that is drinking while camping. Let's talk about this. I promise I'm not going to be long, but I just want to put it out there and set the record straight, because your behavior will then dictate how others are treated later, and that's not always the best thing. Be with you in just a second. Hanging with the Hazes.
Coming to the stage is the king of crazy. Let's put our hands together and welcome the king of crazy, Keon Hayes, and hanging with the Hazes.
What's up, fam?
Yeah!
Show you right.
That's right. Give it up for my main man. Now let's get into this.
All right. So as we groove out a little bit to some smooth jazz here, I just want to set the mood. We're going to talk about drinking while camping. And I know it does not sound like something that we would even need to discuss. However, apparently we do. So long story short, a couple days ago, I'm in the campground and I noticed that there is somebody driving around a little bit erratic. They were going above the posted speed limit for the campground, and they messed around and hit a golf cart with a car. Now, nobody was hurt. However, state police got called and somebody went to jail. And the reason that they went to jail was simply because they blew a blood alcohol level of 0.09. And it might have been 0.1. It was somewhere in there, but that is over the legal limits to be operating a motor vehicle. Now, there are some law scholars out there, I'm sure, that is going to say, well, you were on private property and, that should not have been a factor. Yeah, kind of, sort of, kind of. And here is where the law gets ambiguous. If you are in an area that is private but is accessible to the public, you can be charged with a DUI. Because that campground is accessible to the public and you are intoxicated while operating a motor vehicle, you are subject to the same motor vehicle laws as if you were driving on the main drag. It's just what it is. In states like Kentucky, you can be on private property and you are not allowed to operate a motor vehicle under the influence whatsoever, whether it's accessible to the public or not. You cannot do it. So this incident that happened, though it seems like it was jacked up, technically is not. And the state police were within their jurisdictional right to arrest this person for being intoxicated while behind the wheel of a motor vehicle, because the campground is accessible to the public. Not only is that going to be a problem, they are now facing getting sued not only from the people that they hit, but the campground, because the campground owned the golf cart. So now you are in excess of $10,000 worth of money that has to come out of your pocket, an insurance cancellation, 16 points on your license, ridiculous insurance rates because you were irresponsible with the sauce. We should never, ever, ever have to have this type of conversation, but apparently we do. If you are going to consume alcohol while you are camping, the people around you have the right to be safe with you and your behavior. If you're going to drink, do not get behind the wheel. Don't get behind the wheel of a bicycle. Don't get behind the wheel of a golf cart. Don't get behind the wheel of a car. And for God's sake, whatever you do not get behind the wheel of that motorhome, travel trailer, or whatever else you camp in. You don't do that. That is the fastest way to kill somebody. And then all you can say is, I didn't mean to do it. And I'm sorry if I seem so emotional about this, because this could have been prevented. Not to mention, the person was black. And I'm not saying that race has anything to do with it, but we are already a minority when it comes to this. The last thing we need is campgrounds looking at us as if to say we are irresponsible, we can't, and it doesn't matter what somebody else does. You know better. Look, y'all, I don't care what you look like. Liquor, beer, wine do not belong behind the wheel. I'm also going to include cocaine and marijuana because I know enough of y'all out there doing that too. If you are not within your faculties and you are under the influence, do us all a favor. Stay in your campsite. You can consume all the beer you want. Stumble back to your unit, but don't drive a thing. Smoke all the reefer you want on your campsite, provided that it's legal in your state. But do us all a favor. Mind your behavior. That's all we're saying. Again, hard conversation to have, but I figured let me say it so nobody can say nobody told me or nobody said anything. Yeah, I'm saying it. You got to be careful. You got to watch what you do. People are watching you just because. Y'all just be safe out there. I just want y'all to be safe and return home. I just want y'all to get back home to your families, get back home to your dog and cat, get back home to your pet turtle or your pet snake. If that's all you got, I want y'all to get back home safe. That's all I got to say. That I'm done with it today. Y'all be good out there. Y'all camp safe. I can't even send this over to my man DJ Funky Skunk because he just as disgusted as I am. I'm just gonna bow out of here and say I'm out of here. Please, y'all, be careful and be safe out there camping. Somebody's life depends on it. We out of here.